morning. Welcome to Gatineau, Quebec. I love it over here. Got a little rant for you. The Nuremberg trials after the Second World War and the Geneva Conference set some rules and regulations, standards that we might want to follow, seeing as the Nazis took over all propaganda in Germany, all media, which I guess then was papers and radio, and schools, and all kinds of learning. I'm sure you understand. You've all seen the films. Anyways, the rest of the world, especially North America, adopted the anti-government propaganda, protocol, like, this is how we should do. We shouldn't let our governments, sell war, sell this, sell that. Okay, that went on for a minute. In the United States, it ended with the Obama-Biden government in 2016. They kind of pushed aside the anti-propaganda bill and just let everything fly. Then they could advertise anything. Then it was war, this, that. So here in Canada, I don't know how strict it was. It didn't sound that strict because they were always selling government. But here in the last year, since our pandemic, the government propaganda control over the media, TV, radio, internet, is just gone crazy. I had the misfortune of listening to the CBC radio 6 o'clock news last night. And this is how it went. Talk about government-controlled propaganda. So while riding in my wonderful van last night, it was 6 o'clock, so I put on the radio in my car for the CBC 6 o'clock news, or shall I say, the Canadian Broadcasting Government Propaganda News. So, this is how it started. Fear, COVID. Every other sentence was COVID this, COVID that, COVID this. I mean, they're really trying hard to sell this baby, aren't they? Alternated by the new variant, whatever that may be. Now, usually, as far as I know, viruses usually mutate, and as they mutate, they get weaker and weaker, and then your immune system builds up, which gives you more guard from any kind of virus. It memorizes that virus. It keeps it in there. So we got some. So then, in between that, the COVID, the new variant, whatever that might be, then vaccine. Not one mention of the alternative you could use, like what kind of natural medicines, vitamins, and other things you could use to defend yourself against any kind of flu virus. like vitamin D, like vitamin C, hydroxychloroquine, and a few other 50, just looking after yourself. So after that barrage of propaganda, then we had Teresa Tam, our medical expert, or shall I say, ex-WHO bureaucrat. And you really have to wonder about those people. Are they a bureaucrat, or are they working for big pharma and government, or are they really medical people? When was the last time she was in a lab? Who knows? So here she is telling us that Boris from Britain has sent us over a new variant. That's the new phrase word, variant. What might that be? Could you possibly explain that to us, Miss Tam? No explanation, of course. And then she's out and out talking about, talk about giving it away. The new coming rash of the variant. Is she a psychic? Does she know there's a new coming rash? How would she know that? I guess you'll have to ask her. Anyways, I won't keep you long. To end the program of doom and fear and good grief. After, like I said at the beginning of this, one of the things the Nuremberg trials and the Geneva Conference kind of set a standard for was government propaganda in the media and control of it. And also, no forced vaccination, no forced medical procedures. This is what the Nazis were doing. This is what we're going for right now. They ended the program talking about Denmark wants to have a vaccine passport. Let that sink in. A vaccine passport. And talking about passport, if you want to try and fly out of the country to Florida, wherever in the world, you better really, really think about that. You're going to have a PCR test, and if that just doesn't happen to be positive, then you're going to have to spend a couple $1,000 in a hotel, and then if you don't pass again, then hey, you're going to pay for it. And then when you get to wherever you're going, you're going to have to pass another test, and then you're going to have to pass a test on the way back, and you may be in a COVID hotel, concentration camp. Holy cow. Whew. You got to really think about this, folks. What's going on with our country? I mean, this is way out of whack. This is propaganda control like the Nazis had in the Second World War. We got to really, really think about this. And the amount of people that I know, and 90% of them are good people, have just bought into this. I mean, you've got to really, really think about this. This is starting to get pretty scary. Our democracy's going downhill big time. Anyways, I hope I've opened a few ears. Talk to you again.